Patricia's eyes lit up. She had known that Chad came from wealth, but she hadn't realized just how much. The employee, on the other hand, seemed unimpressed. "Sir, I am sorry. I cannot help you. Perhaps your family's influence can help you in the matter." Chad had no other choice now. He braced himself and picked up the phone to call his father. Edward Manson listened quietly to his son explaining the situation before calmly replying. "Yes, I am familiar with Atlantic Investment. While I have not met the CEO personally, I do know who he is, but listen, Chad, I suggest that you walk away from this. For your own good and for the sake of our family." With that, Edward hung up the phone. Chad was stunned. His father seemed to think that the solution was a lot more complicated than a group of old people being cheated out of their savings. Was he right? The group drew nearer to Chad. Everyone seemed to have a question. "What did he say, Chad? Do you know the name of the CEO yet? Your family is so connected, you must know who he is." He faced a tough choice. He had already told the group he would help, but his father had strongly suggested in no uncertain terms that he drop it immediately. What could he do? If he stepped away now, he was sure to lose face in front of Patricia and Chase. Would it get back to Celia? He took a deep breath and made his decision. He would lie. Plus, no one would question a con artist CEO choosing to not confront the people he swindled. He turned to Patricia and lied. "I have just asked my father to place a call to the CEO. He is on his way here now." "Oh, Chad, darling, that's wonderful news. Thank you," replied a now very happy Patricia. She grabbed Chad's hand. The group was also overjoyed. "I told you Chad could do it," someone said. Several feet away, Chase stood alone and watched in silence as everything unfolded. He couldn't help but smile. Chad certainly was charismatic and wealthy, but he didn't have the stomach to deal with a financial scam of this magnitude, or with a player as powerful as the CEO of Atlantic Investment. The more Chad extended himself now, the greater his failure would be. "This is going to be good," he chuckled to himself. Only a few short minutes later, Jerry's car pulled up to the curb. As he watched the CEO of Atlantic Investment pull up in front of the building, Chad began to panic. How had he known to come to the offices? Chad hadn't even called him. Even his own father had warned him not to get involved. So what exactly was going on? The group of protesters were watching Chad's every move. He did his best to portray confidence but worried they could see through the facade. Jerry stepped out of the car and a hush fell across the crowd. Someone finally broke the silence. "It's the CEO. He's actually here." Someone else chimed in. "I knew Chad could do it. With just a phone call, the CEO is here." Then all at once everyone ran over to Chad to offer their thanks. Patricia marveled at the success of her good idea. She knew he had been the right person to call in a situation like this, and she thanked the heavens he had proved her right. As for Chad, he was still very puzzled. How was the CEO even here? Who had called him? He scanned the crowd in a cold sweat until his eyes met Chase's, who was leaning against a concrete post and smiling gleefully. No. Could it be? Thought Chad. Had Chase called the CEO? He tried to push the thought from his mind. It was impossible. At this very moment, Jerry walked over to Chad and the group of eager protesters. "I heard you were all asking for me. I'm Mr. Evans, the CEO. What's the cause for all of this commotion?" The group began to shout. "Mr. Evans, we demand you return the money that our company stole from us. Where have you been? Where's your office staff? We want our money." Confronted with such open hostility, Charade became uneasy. He needed to say the right thing, otherwise Chuck had warned him that he'd upset Chase. Although right now he was also worried about what this enraged mob of old people might do to him, he needed to restore some calm. "Don't worry, friends," he began. "You have not lost any of your money. Atlantic Investment is not a company that cheats its investors. There is a simple explanation for this misunderstanding. I had to leave town for a business meeting and only flew back this morning. We took the opportunity to remodel some of the offices while I was away, which is why they appear empty." Jerry could see that his audience was buying the explanation. He could hear sighs of relief and watched as people even began to cry with happiness. One of the protesters stepped forward, quieted the crowd, and addressed Patricia, who was currently clinging onto Chad's arm as if without it she wouldn't be able to stand. "Patricia, thank you for what you've done for us all today, for your clear thinking, and for calling this charming gentleman." Watching the group fawn over Chad, Jerry wrongly assumed that this was the man he had been sent here to placate. Taking a few steps forward, he reached for Chad's hand and began to grovel. "I'm sorry, Mr. Rothman, for causing you and your friend so much worry today." Chad was stunned. "What?" he squeaked. "Mr. Rothman, I'm Chad Manson." Jerry was equally confused. Something wasn't right. He had been told by Chuck to get down to Sunrise Village and make things right. Mr. Rothman had demanded it. He searched the crowd until his eyes landed on a man nonchalantly leaning against the post. He appeared amused with the entire interaction. Was that Chase Rothman? He'd been sent here to appease Mr. Rothman and he had gone and thrown himself at the feet of the wrong man. But why didn't Mr. Rothman come forward? Jerry wondered to himself, then it dawned on him. He remembered that Chuck said Mr. Rothman didn't like to draw attention to himself. Chad Manson must be Mr. Rothman's alias, so as not to reveal himself publicly. That was it. Jerry gave Chad a quick knowing smile and a wink and said, "Forgive me, Mr. Manson, I misspoke. An unfortunate side effect of a red-eye flight, I'm afraid." Chad was relieved, but unsure as to why the CEO had even known Chase's name in the first place. Had this Jerry been looking for Chase all along? Furthermore, Chad's father had warned him not to get involved with the CEO, that he wasn't someone to trifle with. So why was Jerry now showing Chad respect when it should have been the other way around? He shook his head in confusion, but there was no time to waste. With everyone watching, he needed to keep up appearances. Chad finally responded, "It's all right. Everyone makes mistakes. Just don't let it happen again, okay?" "Yes, sir," replied Jerry. Chad continued, "And please do see that these good people get their money back right away." "Yes, immediately," said Jerry, now thoroughly convinced that he was speaking with Chase Rothman, pretending to be Chad Manson. Chad nodded his head in satisfaction. The others, seeing Jerry act so deferential toward Chad, were beside themselves. They clamored to get close to him, fawning. "Chad, you're amazing." After paying their respects to Chad, the group lined up in front of Jerry to discuss the business of getting back their money. Still leaning against the post in the background, Chase felt helpless.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.